Hello guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel or podcast, and today I'm going to be going over my, mock draft at the 1-3 spot. And Jonathan Taylor and Cooper Kupp go at the 1-1 and 1-2 in a half PPR league, same format as before. See, for me in this spot, this is very tough to pass up a certain player, and his name is Christian McCaffrey. I've changed it around. McCaffrey is my guy. Eckler is where I'd normally be taking a guy in the first round no matter what, but I don't need to. So I'm just kind of loving where I'm at spot. So we take McCaffrey, and Derrick Henry at the 1-4 goes, followed by Eckler, Najee, and Cook. And then at the 1-8 you go Jefferson, then you go back to the running back with Swift. 110 is Jamar, 111 is Mixon, followed by Devontae, Chubb, Diggs, Kelsey. And then at the 2-4 is Aaron Jones, followed by Kamara, Josh Allen, Lamb, Barkley, and Fournette. And at the 2-10 here, I don't know what my play is because I could load up on running backs here, but I don't think it's an absolute necessity. So you could look at quarterback here. But I'm not a guy that likes to draft QBs early, or you could look at running back, but I don't think that is a need right here. Wide receiver, sure, let's take a gander. Hill, Debo, Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, guys like him. And that, so, there's also a possibility of a tight end. And when I have this wide of a variety here, I'm just going to take the safe bet. And that's Mark Andrews at the 2-10. An elite player that I am very happy to snag at that spot. Now I'm looking around, looking for a running back. Javonte Williams is not the guy I'm looking at, as Melvin Gordon is still there, and I don't think he has complete control over the backfield yet. So, I'm not really looking there. But a guy I am looking at is James Conner. We'll take him. So, in between Mike Andrews and our picks was Debo, Tyreek, Zeke, Keenan, and then follow Mahomes, AJ, Mike Evans, Higgins, Javonte, Cam Akers, Montgomery, Pitts, ETN, and then followed by, in the 4th round at the 4-1, Breece Hall, Herbert, Pittman, Deontay, Kittle, McLaurin, Metcalf, DJ Moore, and Waller. So now at the 4-10, this is actually a very interesting spot. Antonio Gibson is not even worth anywhere close to this. I would take him at the 8th round at best. His ADP on Sleeper is way too high. He's practicing with the 3rd team/punt team, and that just doesn't correlate to my sort of look here. So he is not going to be the pick. We're going to go Mike Williams, the upside receiver. He is a touchdown machine, I'm sure. But then Team 2 at the 4-11 selects Lamar. And Waddle goes following, and Jacobs and Sutton also follow. So now at the 5-3, I'm kind of stuck with an interesting situation, because I could get my 2nd receiver here, or I could get my quarterback, or I could get my 3rd running back. And this is sort of an interesting spot, because I don't know what I exactly want to do yet. I think it is very important to get a nice quarterback, but I think a receiver here is definitely in play. Like a guy like Brandon Cooks, I wouldn't mind. Marquise Brown, or Allen Robinson. Those are my guys here that I'm trying to narrow it down between. But we're just going to go with the guy with the higher ADP. Allen Robinson, 5th round, is my receiver. That should have a great season. Following that is Doc Burrow, Gibson, Elijah Mitchell, Bolts, Kyler, Amari Cooper, Allaire, and that round, Clyde Edwards-Allaire, that rounds out the 5th round. In the 6th round, it goes Marquise Brown, A.J. Dillon, Amon St. Brown, Cooks, Juju, Godwin, Thielen, Miles Sanders, and Michael Thomas. So I think those are all solid picks here, but the two that really stand out to me in between there is Antonio Gibson, who should not be drafted anywhere close to as high as he was, and Miles Sanders. And the situation with Miles Sanders is that Kenneth Gainwell is above him on the roster sort of depth chart. So that is not a good look for Miles Sanders. But now with this pick here, this is a interesting situation because I still don't have my quarterback, but there is certain guys here that I wouldn't mind having, as in Kareem Hunt. That is a possibility of a guy I might draft in this spot, but there is also the opportunity of me taking a quarterback here. Now, I don't know who that would be in this spot. I don't think it's an absolute necessity. So, just looking at this, my flex could easily be a guy like Hawkinson, but I think the best pick for me right here is gonna be Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt in the sixth spot is a reach, but we need a good third running back, and I think he definitely gives us that volatility, and I'm loving that pick. So that fills the flex, and that kind of rounds out the starters besides quarterback. And that's looking like a very good roster, especially in a 12-team league. But now at the 7-3, I wonder what I'm going to draft because I do need depth. But I don't know what exact depth I'm looking for here. Could be running back, but I think the most important depth is going to be wide receiver. And I'm going to go with a guy who probably isn't on a lot of people's boards, but, he's a very highly touted receiver. So, Hunter Renfrow, actually my pick here. And the reason I pick Renfrow is because it's open. I think going to be a huge amount of regression for him in this offense. So, I just think that's a good pick. And then that follows by Elijah Moore, Gabe Davis, Cordero Patterson, Kenneth Walker, Prescott, Russ, Devin Singletary, Devontae Smith, and Mooney. And then to start the 8th is Pollard, Hopkins, Drake London, Penny, Chase Edmonds, Goddard, Olave, Melvin Gordon, and Treylon Burks. So that actually does make sense there, and I am fully on board with that. But now in the 8th round, I do still need to look at depth in most positions, and I think a very good depth piece right here would be Brandon Ayuk, and we receiver, and I think he is a very good pick for this spot. I see no problem with getting him here, so we take Ayuk, and that pick is followed by James Cook, Dawson Knox, Ramondre Stevenson, who's an absolute steal, and Allen Lazard. Now back at the 9-3. A lot of people will argue with me here, but just getting some sort of stack is the best thing you can do, even if Ayuk doesn't start for you. Trey Lance is my picking spot. We get our quarterback, and it works. I'm almost 100% positive that's a great pick. So, we get our downside of the kicker, and so, by Tom Brady, Zach Ertz, Dameon Pierce, Lockett, Kadarius, Stafford, Robert Woods, Rodgers, Kirk, Claypool, Michael Carter. That is a very high draft position for Michael Carter. We also have James Robinson, Madison, Sky Moore, Gesicki, Big Boy Pat Freiermuth, Garrett Wilson, Isaiah Spiller. I don't really see anything wrong with those picks there, so I'm not really going to argue against any of them there. But what we need is backup running backs. And at the 10-10, we need someone who actually is going to make the team and get some decent volatility. And that's Henderson at the 10-10, and I just love that pick. Plus now, we get another opportunity to get someone who's going to have an insane season, Kenneth Gainwell. We go back-to-back running backs, but in between Henderson and Gainwell is Derek Carr, MVS, the LA Rams defense, and Cole Kmet. But the whole reason I'm in on Henderson is because he gets a lot of goal line work, and Gainwell is going to get a lot of receiving work. So those are the reasons for my picks. But now the Bills defense goes Kirk, Tua, Cowboys defense, Nyheim Hines, 49ers defense, Boyd, George Pickens, Alberto, and to start the 12th round is the Chargers defense, Christian Watson, Baltimore Ravens defense, Gallup, Russell Gage, Rachaad White, New England Patriots defense, Hunter Henry, and Ronald Jones. Now we have 4 running backs and 4 receivers, so that none of those positions are in need anymore. And we only got 1 backup spot. This puts us in a pickle, that's for sure, but we're going to be fine. We have an insane amount of running backs at 5 that aren't, well, 2 of them aren't starting, but we have 3 starting running backs. And to fill out the last bench spot is not a running back or a receiver. It's gonna be the tight end. We gotta reach here and take Irv Smith. He just has such high upside, and that's really gonna help us. So we're very happy with that selection, as Irv will be a nice receiving option. Now at the 13-3, we only have 2 spots left. Do we like any of the defenses that are available? Yeah, I mean, I don't mind some of them, like the Saints. So I'm just going to say Saints defense, as it should be very good, the addition of Tyrann Mathieu. Now at the 13-4, Jameson Williams, followed by McPherson, Tyler Allgeier, Devontae Parker, Tucker, Marlon Mack, Brian Robinson, Harrison Butker, and Fields go. And then on the 14th is Daniel Carlson, Broncos defense, Matt Prater, Matt Gay, Colts defense, Tyler Bass, Younghoe Koo, Green Bay Packers defense, and Blankenship. So it's just up to me to get my kicker and someone who I think will actually be pretty good, and that's Will Lutz. The whole kick defense thing is on the same team, and it works. So just gonna go through the team here for the last little roundup, but it ends up being quarterback is Trey Lance. The two running backs are Christian McCaffrey and James Conner. Mike Williams and Allen Robinson are the receivers. Mike Andrews is the tight end. The flex is Kareem Hunt. The kicker is Will Lutz. The defense is the Saints. The bench is Hunter Renfrow, Brandon Ayuk, Darrell Henderson, Kenneth Gainwell, and Irv Smith. Now, put it in the comments, or just straight up, if you know me in person, just text me and rate me on how I did in my draft. And this is a 12-team, half PPR sort of format, and hopefully you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.